Chicka Chicka 123 provides several uses to address the five major language components: pragmatics, phonology, semantics, syntax, and morphology. For a 3 to 5 year old client, pragmatics, the social use of language, could be used to ask questions pertaining to conversation, manners, and feelings. For conversation, I would ask questions like: have you ever climbed a tree? Is it silly for numbers to climb a tree? For manners, I would ask questions like: would you like to hold the book while we read? Can you point to and say the numbers on the page? For feelings, I would ask questions like: what would it feel like if you fell out of the tree? Why do you think Zero was crying? What would you do or how would you feel if bees were chasing you? This would allow the child to socially conversate with open-ended and yes or no questions. For phonology, the organizations of phonemes into words, I would use it for a client who struggles with the ch sound, like in the title, Chicka Chicka. On almost every page, the authors write, Chicka Chicka 123, will there be a place for me? For this particular client, I would model the sentence and then have the patient repeat the sentence, trying to get them to produce the ch sound. For syntax, the grammar and structure of a sentence, I would make up a sentence about a number climbing the tree and find a word that rhymes with that number. I would then choose another number and ask the child what word we could use to rhyme with that particular number. I would then ask the child to choose a number of their own and find a word to rhyme with that as well. For example, I would say, 1 rhymes with bun. Can you think of another word that rhymes with 1? For semantics, word meaning, I would ask questions like, what pictures on the page match the sentence we were talking about? For example, I would read the sentence, oh no, buzzing close, bumblebees, Zero hides behind the tree. And I would have the client point out the zero and the bees on the page. Since this is a counting book, I would also have the client count how many bees they see on the page. Another example would be Hot Pink 12, Lucky 13, picking apples red and green. I would then ask questions like, apples are fruits. What other fruits can you think of? Have you ever picked an apple before? And where do apples grow? For morphology, the structure of words, I would use the example, 16's next to make the scene, climbing branches with 17, and have the client fill in the blank where branches should go. The point of this is to get the child to understand the plural form of branch makes the most sense in the structure of the sentence. I would also have the client point out the picture on the tree of the page and count the multiple branches by asking, how many branches do you see on the page? Another example I would use is when the number 10 was left at the top of the tree, the number 0 joined him. What number was made when 10 and 0 came together at the end? And the client should be able to tell by looking at the final page that 10 and 0 make 100. It should also fall in sequential order with the book that goes from 0 to 100.